Welcome back to the channel. It's quite warm here, consistently warm in the UK, which as we all know is really unusual. So because of that, when you get a massage quite often, you're thinking about being a comfortable temperature. And when we say comfortable temperature, what we normally mean is you don't want to feel cold. When parts of your body are exposed, you don't want to feel too cool and wish that you could have the cover or the towel back on you. But can massage, apart from obviously warming you up, when we're doing all these moves, we're warming you up, can massage cool you down? We've spoke about this before on the channel and the answer is yes. Now everyone's different and some people just won't want a massage when it's warm. So that's fine because you know yourself, you know what you like. If you're not sure, you can try it. If you don't like it, you know you don't like it. But some tips to actually potentially help you cool down with massage are surprisingly straightforward, and a lot of them will make sense when you think about them. So first things first, let's put some oil on. Now, talking about the oil, choose a cooling oil. So you can choose oils that actually have some cooling ingredients in them, and these could be things such as peppermint, eucalyptus, menthol. There will be different brands that have pre-blended, and you can actually create or choose, rather pick a pre-blend that is cooling on the person that you're going to be working on. If it's a particularly hot day but someone really wants the massage, then you can select an oil that you know doesn't have anything in it likewise that will warm up as you work. For instance, black pepper oil can work on warming up the muscles. So if you know that it's going to be a very warm day and someone's not looking for that, then make sure that when you're looking at the ingredients, in addition to wanting to select cooling oils, you're making sure that you don't select oils that are going to warm up. So there are lots of things that you can do regarding that. What you can also do, which again is, it's obvious when you think about it but might not be obvious at the time, is think about the temperature of the room. So if you can have aircon, brilliant. Not everyone can have aircon. A fan can be good but not always beneficial if somebody's looking to cool down. So maybe, I just said cool down, what I meant was relax. I said the wrong word there. What I mean by that is if someone's got a fan in the room and they want to relax and switch off during the massage but there's a fan blowing, that's what I meant to say. You can tell that it's a warm day because the brain's not working right. The fan might be doing the job of cooling them down, but it might be so noisy that they can't relax and they want to take their massage to a level where they feel that they can switch off, but the fan is so noisy that they can't. So while the fan might be performing one function, it might be taking away from the massage with another. So it might not be ideal to have a fan, but if somebody really wants it and they don't care, and maybe you can put some music on, it might cancel it out. Likewise, as we've said before, for everybody that is looking for a massage to relax them and to switch off and to maybe go to that sleepy stage, there are other people who want to use a massage to chat and relax and de-stress through having a conversation. So the fan might be irrelevant to them because they want to talk to you. So it really does depend what they're in for. Another way that a massage can cool you down is exactly what we're doing at the moment. There are certain movements that are designed to warm up the tissues, and all massage is going to warm them up in a sense that when you're working on them, if you haven't warmed them up, you don't want to cause any damage or irritation. But moves that are very draining, moves that are working on the lymphatic system, these can all help to cool you down because what they're essentially doing is helping to remove waste product, helping to balance out the body, helping with homeostasis, which at the end of the day is helping to keep the body an even temperature, which doesn't necessarily mean cooling you down, but it does mean keeping you even and keeping you settled and keeping you balanced, so you're not overheating. So if you're particularly warm and you want a massage, you could ask them for a gentle lymphatic massage, maybe just lots of stroking, lots of gentle movements, nothing that's full of frictions and fast movements and designed to really get that erythema working. But again, having said that, when you bring the blood to the surface, when you actually help to distribute the heat in the area, that can also help too. So it really does, it depends on the individual, it depends on the factors involved, it depends on the temperature of the person versus the temperature of the room. And let's be honest, the temperature of the therapist too. I am known for my cold hands, which a lot of people used to say, please clamp your cold hands on me. And obviously they warm up in the summer. My hands aren't cold in the summer, but they're always naturally cold in the winter. But also if it's a particularly warm day and then your therapist is warm and you feel that you can't cool down and they feel that they can't cool down, then other tricks that we can use are to use cooler towels. So to cool your towels down. So obviously we've used towel heaters before, but you could do the opposite. If it was really, really hot, you can use a cool towel and just place it on the neck, and that just helps to take the temperature down. But again, make sure you don't shock someone. Let them know what you're doing, and don't have something that's like a block of ice, because that might not be very pleasant. But a cool towel that you've just maybe popped in the fridge for a short amount of time and just place it on the neck, that can really help. If someone wants a cool towel over the body, just again temporarily, that can help. If you're the therapist and you are really struggling, you can wear clothes that are just more, sometimes you've got to wear a uniform and they can be the type of materials that just make you feel like you're on fire and they're a furnace and they're itchy and they trap heat. But if there's flexibility allowed within the workplace or you're working for yourself, switch to lighter fabrics, switch to cottons, to linens. If you can, wear something that's more airy. Don't wear something where you feel that you're trapping the heat, where you're building a sweat. All these things that you can do, just practicalities. You can also ask the person that's coming for the massage to wear light clothing, lighter layers, cottons, linens. You can swap your towels if you really want to for something far lighter. So again, they don't feel as though they're trapping heat. There are just so many ways that you can approach cooling down for a massage, but primarily a lot of it is common sense. Some of it's also tips that you'll learn from others. You can also introduce some, well, we've said about the oils, so I'll include that as a product, but some equipment. So do you remember that we've used, it's not ice, but it's like almost like the ice rollers, and they've got gels and they've got special liquids within them, and you place them in the freezer and then you can use them on the face or on the body, and you can literally just roll them over an area, and they can be very effective as a cooling piece of equipment in a massage. Do you remember that we had the hot stones, but in addition to that you can actually use cold stones? So although not nearly as popular, cold stone massage is something that you can do. Introduce some cold stones into that treatment, help to cool down. You can also use special products that again are designed to cool when they work on the body. So it's not cooling ingredients in the oils, it's actually products that are designed to feel cool on the skin. So you can do that too. Sometimes it'll be like a cooling gel, like after suns and things like that. Obviously we know what they're like and they're cooling, but you can actually have cooling gels, cooling oils, cooling lotions, and they're not meant for massage, they're just meant for placing on the skin. So if you wanted to, you could maybe finish off your massage, and then once you've removed any oil residue, maybe just as a finishing touch, you could apply a cooling gel, cooling serum, cooling oils, cooling lotions, anything like that are designed to be just gently applied to the skin and then cool it off. Could be a little finishing touch on your massage. But hopefully just the process of relaxing, of being massaged, as you can see, we're not doing any particular routine, we are just performing these relaxing moves just to stabilise the temperature, to cool down, to let the essential oils this is a pre-blend, so to let these essential oils do their thing, cool down. You know that they'll be cool on contact, but they'll also absorb in and continue to do their work. And if you've got the room at a pleasant temperature, then everything works together. And if your therapist isn't too warm, you won't feel that there's heat being trapped. And together everything just works and results in a really nice cooling experience. And the irony is, in a couple of months' time, especially here in the UK, we'll be complaining that we're too cold. And we'll be looking for our hot stones massage and anything to warm you up, and saying that you need to put a jumper on because you're too chilly. But it does not feel like that at the moment. So I would love to know what you do treatment-wise. Is there a treatment that you go to stay cool? One that's not a treatment, but it does work, as we all know, is a cool shower or a cool bath, just to balance everything out. Not so much now, but years ago a lot of people did used to get the foot spa out and put some cooler water into the foot spa and just settle their temperature down through soaking their feet, and it just helped to balance everything out. Doesn't seem so common now. People would just rather go for a shower or a bath now than get out the foot spa, but it still serves its purpose. I'd love to know what you do, what your little tips and tricks are. And what I'll be doing in a future video is talking to you about the way that I have found. Now, this is going to be controversial, and some people have already told me they don't like it. But whenever I'm doing my research for videos, to give you as much information as possible in case there's something that I didn't know. You probably know that Google now has the first suggestion is an AI suggestion. And I thought, because it annoys some people, and again, each to their own, I'm not a huge fan of AI, but you can't avoid it. I have noticed the last few times when I've been using Google just to check a few things out, AI has been the first response. And it's actually been very helpful for me. And one of the videos coming up is going to be how AI actually helped me diagnose something that I was getting nowhere with the doctors and the nurses at my local GP surgery, and the AI actually sorted it out for me. So as much as it's going to annoy people, and I'm sure there'll be one or two folk that will tell me they're not going to watch it, and that's absolutely fine, I am finding personally that it has its place, and it's actually been helpful for me a few times. So that's coming up. So I'm just pre-warning you, if there's any videos coming up that have got AI featured within them, I'll say it in the title, and then you can let me know that you won't be watching it. But other than that, you can also let me know if you're finding AI helpful or not, considering that a lot of the time we're having to use it whether we like it or not, because it's actually becoming inbuilt in certain tools that we're using, that where it may not have been inbuilt previously, they're now updating and adjusting, and whether you like it or not, it's coming up as an AI suggestion, which you can choose to ignore, or in my case, it's actually really helped me quite recently, quite a few times. It's helped me get some answers that I couldn't get. So I'm finding that in the beauty industry, I'm finding that it does have a place. But again, each to their own. We can have a discussion. Always happy to have a discussion about things, and it'd be really boring if we agreed on everything. But it's always good, again, to hear the flip side, what you agree with and what you disagree with, and then you might widen your horizons, you might change your mind, you might realise there's more to something than you thought, you might become more wary of something that you thought was 100% fantastic. You might think, oh, hang on, better watch out for that, because you can get dodgy results, you can get bad information too. You cannot take everything as gospel. But yeah, that's coming up soon, so you can let me know your thoughts on that too. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.